The elevator jolted to a halt between the 12th and 13th floors of our family's high-rise apartment building in downtown Manhattan, plunging us into a dim emergency light. I froze, my heart pounding as the doors refused to budge, and there was Jordan, my stepsister, just inches away, her breath quickening in the confined space. "Alex," she whispered, her voice cracking like thunder in the silence. "I can't keep this inside anymore. I'm in love with you." I stared at her, the world narrowing to the faint hum of the stuck machinery, and the scent of her lavender shampoo that always lingered in our shared bathroom. We'd been stepsisters for 5 years. Ever since our parents married in a whirlwind ceremony that blended two fractured families into one uneasy unit. Mom, a devout Catholic schoolteacher from Queens, and Dad, Jordan's dad, a stern investment banker from the Upper East Side, had insisted on this blended life as a fresh start. But fresh starts don't erase the undercurrents, especially not when you're 25 and she's 23, navigating college degrees and entry-level jobs in a city that chews up secrets and spits them out. Jordan's confession hung there, heavy as the cables straining above us. I wanted to laugh it off, blame the claustrophobia, but her eyes, those stormy blue ones that mirrored her father's intensity, held no joke. "What are you talking about?" I managed, my voice barely above a whisper, pressing back against the cold metal wall as if it could swallow me whole. We'd always been close, closer than blood siblings might be, sharing late-night talks about dreams and disappointments, but this crossed lines I hadn't even acknowledged existed. The emergency phone buzzed and a maintenance voice crackled through, promising help in 20 minutes. 20 minutes trapped with this bombshell. Jordan paced the tiny space, her sneakers squeaking on the floor. "I felt it for years, Alex. Since that summer in the Hamptons when we stayed up watching stars, and you held my hand during the thunderstorm. It wasn't sisterly for me." Her words tumbled out, raw and unfiltered, painting pictures I'd buried deep. I remembered that night, her fingers interlaced with mine, the warmth cutting through the chill, but I'd chalked it up to familial comfort. My mind raced through the implications. Our family was a fragile construct. Mom's rosary beads clicking during dinner prayers, Dad's lectures on traditional values over steak and wine. They expected us to date nice boys, build careers, maybe even settle down nearby. Coming out as anything but straight would shatter that facade. I'd dated guys in college, flings that fizzled because something always felt off, but I'd never questioned it deeply. Until now. Jordan stopped pacing and faced me, her face flushed. "Say something. Please." I opened my mouth, but the words stuck. Part of me wanted to pull her close, to explore this forbidden spark, but the larger part screamed danger. "This can't happen," I finally said, my voice steadier than I felt. "We're family. What would Mom and Dad say? What about society? We're stepsisters, Jordan. This is wrong." Her expression crumpled, but she nodded, wiping away a tear. "I know, but feelings don't care about labels." The elevator groaned, and lights flickered back on as it began to descend. We stepped out into the lobby, the air between us electric with unspoken tension. That night I lay awake in my room, replaying her words, feeling a pull I'd ignored for too long. But denial is a powerful drug, and by morning, I'd convinced myself it was a momentary lapse. Weeks passed in a haze of avoidance. I threw myself into my graphic design job at a trendy Soho agency, sketching logos and layouts until my eyes blurred. Jordan buried herself in her psychology studies at NYU, her textbooks piled high in our shared living room. We tiptoed around each other, polite smiles masking the rift. But cracks show eventually. It started small. Mom noticing our silences at family dinners. "You two fighting?" she'd ask, her brow furrowed over lasagna. We'd deny it, but the tension built. Then came the family gathering for Dad's 50th birthday, a lavish affair at their penthouse with aunts, uncles, and cousins from both sides. Amid the champagne toasts and laughter, Jordan pulled me aside into the study. "We need to talk," she said, closing the door. Her hand brushed mine, sending a jolt through me. I can't pretend anymore. That confession wasn't a mistake. I backed away, heart hammering. "Stop. This will destroy everything." But as she stepped closer, her eyes pleading, I felt the walls crumbling. In that moment I leaned in, our lips meeting in a kiss that tasted of forbidden truth and impending doom. The door burst open, Mom looking for us. Her gasp echoed like a gunshot. What? What is this? We sprang apart, faces burning. The party continued oblivious, but our world had just imploded. From there the fallout was swift. Mom confronted us that night, tears streaming as she clutched her crucifix. This is a sin, girls. Against God, against nature. Dad, ever the pragmatist, saw it as a PR disaster. Think about the family name. In this city, rumors spread like wildfire. They demanded we end it, seek counseling, pretend it never happened. But Jordan refused. I love her, Dad. And I think she loves me too. Her defiance sparked something in me. A flicker of courage. Yet fear won that round. I agreed to therapy, hoping it would fix us. Sessions with Dr. Harlan, a stern woman in Midtown, dissected our childhoods, our parents' marriage, labeling our bond as codependency gone awry. Jordan attended once, then stormed out. This isn't a disease, she texted me later. It's who I am. Her words haunted me as I sat through more sessions alone, nodding along while my heart rebelled. The pressure mounted. Friends started noticing, subtle questions about why I wasn't dating, why Jordan seemed distant. Social media amplified it. A vague post from a cousin hinting at family drama got likes and comments speculating wildly. One evening after a grueling day, I found Jordan packing a bag. I'm moving out, she said flatly. I can't live like this. Panic surged. Don't go. We can figure this out. But she shook her head. You chose them over us. Her departure left a void, the apartment echoing with absence. Alone I grappled with the void. Was love worth the cost? The question gnawed at me as I stared at the city lights, wondering if I'd made the biggest mistake of my life. Months dragged on without Jordan. Each day a reminder of the chasm I'd helped create. I buried myself deeper in work, designing campaigns for eco-friendly brands that preached unity while my own life fractured. Mom called daily, her voice laced with concern masked as judgment. Have you prayed about this, Alex? God forgives, but you must repent. I'd mumble agreements, hanging up with a heavier heart. Dad was more direct, arranging networking dinners with eligible young men from his firm. Time to move forward, he'd say, clinking glasses. I endured them, forcing smiles through awkward conversations about stocks and sports, all while my mind wandered to Jordan's laugh, her touch. Social media became my secret vice. I'd scroll her profiles late at night. Instagram stories of her in coffee shops, studying with new friends. She looked freer, but her eyes held shadows. One post, a quote about forbidden love, felt like a direct message. I liked it accidentally, then unliked, but the damage was done. She messaged, "Miss me." Our text started innocently. Updates on classes, work rants, but soon deepened. I can't stop thinking about that kiss, she wrote one night. My fingers hovered, then typed, "Me neither." It was a crack in my resolve, widening with each exchange. Reconnecting felt like breathing again, but secrecy bred complications. We met in hidden spots. Central Park benches at dusk, hole-in-the-wall diners in Brooklyn. Each encounter intensified the pull. Our conversations laced with longing and logic. What if we just try? Jordan urged during a rainy afternoon in a quiet cafe. Screw what others think. But others loomed large. A family friend spotted us holding hands, whispering to Mom. The confrontation came at Sunday brunch. Are you seeing her again? Mom demanded, fork clattering. Dad's face hardened. This ends now, or there will be consequences. Consequences materialized. Dad threatened to cut off Jordan's tuition. Mom to disinvite us from holidays. The mouth-wandao doctor at me. Was pursuing this selfish or authentic? Society's gaze weighed heavy. Headlines about LGBTQ struggles in conservative circles mirrored our fight, but personal stakes amplified the pain. Jordan fought back, coming out to a few friends who rallied around her. I'm done hiding, she declared in a group chat that accidentally included me. Their support emboldened her, but isolated me further. I envied her courage, resenting my own cowardice. Then came the betrayal. In a moment of weakness during a heated argument with Mom, I denied everything. It was a phase, nothing more. The words escaped, a desperate bid for peace. Mom hugged me, relieved but guilt gnawed. Jordan found out through the grapevine. Her call was ice cold. You threw me under the bus. I apologized profusely, but trust fractured. How can I believe you now? She asked, voice breaking. The damage rippled. Jordan distanced herself again, blocking my number. I spiraled, questioning every decision. Therapy sessions turned introspective. Dr. Harlan challenged. What do you want, Alex? Not what they want. What I wanted was her. But the price seemed insurmountable. Family ties, societal norms, could I sacrifice them? Nights blurred into days of soul-searching, journaling frantic thoughts about identity and love. A turning point came at a pride event I attended anonymously, dragged by a coworker. Amid rainbows and chants, I saw couples like us, defiant, happy. It stirred something dormant. That night, I unblocked Jordan and messaged, I was wrong. Let's talk. She agreed to meet at our old elevator building, now symbolic. As we rode up, no jolts this time, she said. I've been seeing someone else. The words hit like a punch. To move on, she added, eyes averted. Jealousy surged, but so did clarity. Don't, I pleaded. I love you too. Admitting it aloud freed me, but her response was guarded. Prove it. Proving it meant confronting the family. I scheduled a dinner, nerves frayed. As we gathered around the table, I took a breath. Mom, Dad, Jordan and I are in love. It's real and we're together. Silence exploded into chaos. Mom wept, invoking scripture. Dad stormed out, muttering about disgrace. The evening ended in tears and slammed doors, but Jordan squeezed my hand under the table. A silent vow. In the aftermath, lines were drawn. Mom sought solace in church groups decrying modern sins. Dad in work avoidance. We moved into a small apartment in Queens, scraping by on our salaries. Freedom tasted bittersweet, laced with loss. Yet challenges persisted. Workplace whispers about my lifestyle led to missed promotions. Jordan faced academic scrutiny from conservative professors. Society's dinkin manifested in stares, slurs whispered on subways. One incident escalated. A family reunion where an uncle cornered us, spewing vitriol. You're destroying the family. Jordan stood tall, retorting. Love doesn't destroy, it reveals. Her strength inspired, but the wound festered. As we navigated this new reality, doubts crept in. Was the pain worth it? The question lingered as we lay in bed, her head on my shoulder, the city humming outside. Living together amplified both joy and strain. Our Queens apartment, with its creaky floors and view of bustling streets, became a sanctuary and battleground. Mornings started with coffee and kisses, but evenings often devolved into arguments fueled by external pressures. Jordan's psychology internship at a Manhattan clinic exposed her to stories of queer youth disowned by families, mirroring our fears. We can't let them win, she'd say, eyes fierce. But winning felt elusive when Mom's calls turned pleading. Come home, Alex. We can forget this. Yet Malthwan Inouitom persisted. Guilt over breaking the family gnawed at me. Dad's emails, curt and businesslike, avoided personal topics, a silent rebuke. Jordan noticed my withdrawal. You're regretting this, she accused one night over takeout. No, I insisted, but doubt seeded. What if I was wrong? Society's narrative, stepsisters as taboo, amplified the internal storm. Media portrayals of lesbian relationships often sensationalized drama, rarely showing the quiet resilience we craved. The tension peaked during Thanksgiving. We declined the family invite, opting for a quiet dinner with friends. But Mom showed up unannounced, pie in hand, tears in eyes. I miss my girls. The encounter turned emotional. She hugged Jordan tentatively, whispering, I don't understand, but I love you. Hope flickered, but Dad's absence doused it. Later, he called, Your mother's too soft. This choice has consequences. Those consequences arrived via certified mail. Disinheritance papers. For the good of the family, the note read. The betrayal stung. Jordan raged. He's punishing us for being honest. I crumbled, sobbing in her arms. The financial hit meant cutting luxuries, but the emotional toll was steeper. Feeling expendable. In retaliation, Jordan distanced further, immersing in activism. She joined protests against anti-LGBTQ bills, her face appearing in local news clips. Pride swelled in me, but fear too. New York's underbelly harbored hate. One rally turned violent. Counter-protesters clashed, and Jordan came home bruised. It's nothing, she downplayed, but seeing her wince shattered me. This is the price, I said, bandaging her. Is it worth it? Her eyes met mine. You are. That night, intimacy deepened our bond, a reaffirmation amid chaos. But choices breed ripple effects. My job suffered. A client pulled out after hearing rumors. The boss, sympathetic but pragmatic, suggested discretion. Image matters. I nodded, but resentment brewed. Jordan's someone else from earlier resurfaced. A classmate named Riley texting casually. Jealousy flared. Just friends, Jordan assured, but seeds of doubt grew. In a heated moment, I snooped her phone, finding flirty messages. Confrontation ensued. You said you were over her. It was before we recommitted, she defended. But you betrayed me first with your denial. The argument escalated, words like daggers, accusations of weakness, indecision. We slept apart that night, the apartment cold. Morning brought apologies, but trust scarred. Healing required work. We started couples therapy, unpacking layers of hurt. Therapy revealed deeper issues. My fear of abandonment from mom's past divorce, Jordan's from her mom's death young. Our love, born in blended chaos, carried baggage. Progress was slow, but breakthroughs came. I confronted Dad in person, at his office overlooking Wall Street. This isn't a phase. Accept us or lose us. His face softened momentarily. I don't know how. It wasn't resolution, but a crack. Mom made strides, attending a PFLG meeting. I'm trying, she admitted over coffee. Tears flowed as we shared stories, bridging gaps. Society's pressures eased slightly. Friends rallied, hosting a coming-out party. Laughter filled our home, a balm. Yet, a new conflict arose. Jordan's job offer in San Francisco. Better opportunities, she said. But what about us? I asked, panic rising. Long distance loomed, testing our fragile unity. Debating pros and cons, we weighed dreams against love. I'll stay, she offered, but I saw sacrifice in her eyes. No. Go and we'll make it work. The decision hurt, a necessary evil. As she prepared to leave, emotions surged. Packing boxes stirred memories, the elevator, the kiss, the fights. Promise we'll survive this, I whispered. Her flight day arrived, airport farewell tearful. This isn't goodbye, she said, kissing me fiercely. Watching her go, I felt adrift but empowered. Alone again, I reflected on the journey. From confession to chaos, betrayal to bonding. The price paid. Family rifts, career setbacks, emotional scars. But gains. Authenticity. Love unmasked. Was it all worth the turmoil? The question echoed as I hailed a cab home. The city lights blurring through tears. Jordan's move to San Francisco marked a new chapter. One of distance and determination. Video calls became our lifeline. Pixelated smiles bridging the miles. The Bay Area's vibrant, she'd say, describing queer-friendly neighborhoods that made New York seem stifling. I envied her fresh start, but loneliness crept in. Work stabilized. I landed a promotion by channeling energy into bold designs. But personal life lagged. Mom's tentative outreach continued. Weekly calls evolving from awkward to affectionate. Tell Jordan I said hi, she'd venture, a small victory. Dad remained distant, but a holiday card arrived and signed. A olive branch? I clung to hope. Long distance tested us. Time zones clashed with schedules. Missed calls bred misunderstandings. One night, frustration boiled over. You're always busy, I accused. And you're clinging, she shot back. The call ended abruptly, silence deafening. Reconciliation came via a surprise visit. I flew out, heart pounding at SFO. Seeing her at baggage claim, we embraced like the world depended on it. The weekend reaffirmed our bond, walks on Golden Gate, talks about future. But reality intruded. Riley, now a colleague, appeared in stories. Professional, Jordan insisted, but insecurity festered. A late-night text from Riley I glimpsed. Miss our chats. Confrontation reignited old wounds. Trust me, Jordan pleaded. I wanted to, but betrayal's shadow lingered. Therapy helped, our counselor via Zoom dissected patterns. Communication is key, she advised. We implemented date nights virtual, sharing vulnerabilities. Society's lens shifted focus. A viral article on blended family LGBTQ dynamics cited similar stories, validating ours. I contributed anonymously, finding catharsis. Family dynamics evolved. Mom visited, meeting my support group. I see now, she confided. Love is love. Her acceptance warmed, but Dad's stubbornness persisted. A crisis accelerated change. Dad's heart scare. Hospitalized, he called. Come see me. Jordan flew back. We arrived together. In the sterile room, vulnerability cracked his facade. I was wrong, he admitted weakly. Life's too short for grudges. Tears flowed. Forgiveness tentative but real. Recovery brought family therapy. Sessions unearthed resentments. Dad's fear of societal judgment. Mom's religious conflicts. We navigated, emerging stronger. With barriers lowering, Jordan considered returning. New York's home, she said. But a promotion tethered her west. Dilemma renewed. Move or separate? I pondered relocating. My job offered remote options. The idea thrilled and terrified. Uprooting meant leaving Mom's progress, friends' network. Decision crystallized during a storm, echoing our elevator origin. Let's build together in SF, I proposed. She agreed, excitement palpable. Transition was chaotic. Packing goodbyes. Mom hugged tightly. Visit often. Dad nodded approval. Proud of you. Settling in SF, culture shock hit. Liberal vibes eased societal pressures. We held hands freely, a novelty. But challenges arose. Cost of living strained finances. I freelanced while job hunting. Jordan's long hours left me isolated. A betrayal surfaced. Jordan confessed a kiss with Riley during a weak moment post-argument. It meant nothing, she swore. Devastation hit. Trust shattered anew. Why? I demanded, packing a bag. Loneliness, she admitted. The admission cut deep, echoing my past denials. We separated temporarily. I crashed with a friend. Reflection time. Was our love resilient or doomed? Reunion came at therapy. We've both erred, Jordan said. But I choose you. Forgiveness hard-earned, we recommitted with boundaries. Healing involved community, joining local groups, volunteering. Shared purpose mended fractures. As stability returned, we planned a commitment ceremony, small, symbolic. Family attended virtually. Mom beamed, Dad gruffly approved. Life normalized. Careers flourished. Friendships deepened. But scars reminded of costs. Lost time, emotional toll. Looking back, the journey from shock to serenity highlighted growth. Conflicting morals resolved through dialogue. Societal biases challenged by persistence. Yet doubts lingered in quiet moments. Had we chosen right amid wrong turns? Years blended into a tapestry of triumphs and trials. Our San Francisco life solidified. A cozy apartment in the Castro, careers advancing. Me leading a design team, Jordan counseling at a youth center. Love deepened, tempered by experience. Family ties mended fully. Visits became regular. Mom baked cookies, Dad shared investment tips awkwardly. A blended holiday in New York sealed reconciliation. Laughter replacing tension. Society's evolution aided. Marriage equality milestones. Cultural shifts normalizing our story. We advocated, speaking at events, inspiring others. But past shadows occasionally resurfaced. A family gathering unearthed old prejudices from extended relatives. Still with that phase? An aunt sneered. Jordan's retort was sharp. It's our life. The incident reminded of ongoing battles. Personal growth continued. I published a memoir anonymously, detailing our journey. Feedback poured in, supportive, critical, sparking debates on ethics of step-sibling romance. Jordan faced her demons too, mentoring youth with similar struggles. Your story saved me, one teen said, affirming our path. Highs included adopting a rescue dog, symbolizing commitment. Lows, financial dips, health scares. Through all, we leaned on each other. Reflecting on the elevator confession, it felt fateful. That shock ignited change, forcing confrontations with self, family, society. Costs were steep. Betrayals inflicted and endured. Sacrifices of comfort for truth. Rewards, authentic love, personal awakening. As we watched sunsets over the Pacific, hands entwined, peace settled. But questions remained, had our choices been morally right? In the end, was defying family and societal norms for personal love a selfish act or a courageous one? Years after the elevator incident, Our life in San Francisco had woven itself into a resilient fabric of everyday joys and persistent challenges. The apartment in the Castro buzzed with the energy of a neighborhood that celebrated diversity, where rainbow flags fluttered like constant reminders that we weren't alone. My design firm promoted me to creative director, allowing me to infuse campaigns with subtle nods to inclusivity, while Jordan's role at the LGBTQ Youth Center grew into a directorship, where she shaped policies that protected vulnerable kids from the very prejudices we battled. Family reconciliation wasn't a straight line but a winding path marked by milestones. Mom's transformation was profound. She volunteered at PFLG chapters back in New York, sharing our story with a mix of pride and lingering faith-based caveats. God's love is infinite, she'd say now, a far cry from her initial condemnations. Dad, ever the pragmatist, invested in our future by setting up a small trust for whatever comes next. His way of atoning without overt sentiment. Holidays alternated coasts blending traditions, Mom's Italian feasts with Dad's steak barbecues, creating new memories that overlaid the old wounds. Society's landscape shifted too, with legal victories and cultural representations making our relationship